to accept
give
him to
reward to
our
them
center for his
or
rejected
punish them.
class.
I'm sorry, members of the house, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the only way to educate your children. There are so many ways, so many other ways to educate your children. You can tell your children what to do, what they can do, what they cannot do. So, if the opposition narrow down the scope of educating children in just, in just giving reward and punishing them, that's not right at all.
Actually,
Yes?
can.
Even though there are many
I'm
ideas,
sorry,
you can't
hold
deny
on.
that is still one way. And even if parents still tell them, should they still be held responsible? Why are parents to be blamed for it?
Thank you. Yes, because children are underage and they are fully and the parents are fully responsible for that. Because the children are not matured yet. Is it fair if we leave the responsible to their children when they are not matured yet? They can't even think. They can differentiate what's right and what's wrong. Because we are talking about children, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. The opposition, the deputy opposition leader has gave us point of information. They say that if we are educating the children, we are educating parents, how can we avoid the crimes? Ladies and gentlemen, if we give the lessons to the parents, we are educating other parents to avoid what these parents. Okay, let me explain this to you. Okay, let's say that these parents made a mistake and their children made a mistake in educating their children, and their children made a crime in social media. So they are responsible for their children's crime in social media. Misbehavior, sorry. So if we educate these parents, we can avoid other parents from miseducating their children. So that's how we can educate children.
But you know what this would cause to the children? While the parents may be educated, the children would grow up thinking that there's someone to take the fall for them if they were to commit any more crime, which has been cleared up by my first speaker as to why the children should be the ones to be punished, not the parents.
I'm sorry, but the point of information is more than 15 seconds.
I know.
Okay, moving on.
Are you sure? Did you
The
have a
second
what?
speaker has stood up and said that. Okay.
I'm just so sick of it.
Yeah, the second speaker stood up and said that we are debating on we want to avoid the crime. However, we are debating about should or not parents be responsible for their children's behavior, for their school-going children's behavior. Yes, of course, we would like to avoid misbehavior of the children. But today's motion says that parents should be held for responsible. So we are debating whether should or not parents be held responsible if their children should or not parents be responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media. Moving on, the third speaker of the opposition has POIS. They say that how can we...
No, not yet.
Okay, before I take my seat, I would like to stress again that we from the government strongly agree with this motion that parents should be held responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media because it is a parental obligation to protect, monitor and educate their children. Thank you.
No, that was the reason.
Yeah, this is stupid. That's so biased.
What?
Yeah, we are biased, but never mind.
So cool.
Nabin, come on, Nabin.
Waiting for the educators. Can't wait for the education. What is that?
The language, the usage. I don't really think I'll get high points for that.
Okay, but it's just 20. But still.
Now, let us listen to the speech by the third and last member of the opposition team, Mr. Nevin Vinod Vedundra.
Yeah, they know how to
I want to be biased too.
A very good morning, I believe, to the Speaker of the House, honorable educators, and members of the floor. We from the opposition side strongly disagree with today's motion that parents should be held responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media simply because it is just unfair. Now, allow me as the third speaker to rebut all the flimsy arguments put forth by the government side. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Einstein defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again. And this is exactly what the government side has been doing. They've been going on and on about how they have to educate children. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how do you educate children if you don't reward them for the good things and punish them for the bad things? Okay? So they won't learn to face their consequences. Okay? And the parents will always take the blame for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, if students, if school-going children don't realize their mistakes now, when will they realize? If until the age of 18 you don't realize your mistakes, you're never going to realize. Now, moving on to the second speaker of the government side. First of all, she did not rebut the first, the Prime Minister, the first opposition leader's point. She rebutted on the definitions. Now, she says that children are too young and immature to see the consequences of their actions, and that's why parents should take the blame. Well, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to make them see? The only way to make them see is by punishing them. By punishing them, they will have a sense of realization. So the next time when they think of doing something, they will think of the outcome and think of not doing it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, their third point falls under the keyword protection. She said that it's parents' responsibility to protect the kids. So, ladies and gentlemen, from time and time again, the opposition side has been asking the government, what if parents monitor their kids, but the kids still do these mistakes? Because kids can still go to cyber cafes and they can even watch other sites at school. So, if
you really educate your children, you instill the awareness in your children would not betray you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but students nowadays can access to computers everywhere, not only at home. Do you expect parents to go to schools with children and sit in front of a computer with them? I don't think so.
Yeah, they have work too.
Now, third speaker of the government side, for our first contention, she did not rebut our contention, but she rebutted on.
Educate your children well because they still betray you.
Beg your pardon.
Goodness. Wait, that's what
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we want a society that grows up to be responsible for their actions, we cannot allow our youth at this age to allow their parents to take the blame for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we as humans can only realize our mistakes when we see and feel that mistake has done something wrong to us, and we should punish our children so that they can realize. How I don't understand how parents taking the blame for them is the right decision. Now, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, today's motion says that parents should be held responsible for school-going children behavior and social media. Okay. The main topic is should parents be responsible or should children be responsible? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what good does a parent being responsible for the kids' actions bring? Should the parent be punished? Why should the parents be punished? It should be the child who's punished. The parent being punished does not bring any benefit to the child because the child is not committed.
Thing is be responsible for own actions.
Now, moving on, I would like to summarize the points from the government side, from the opposition side. The first point from the opposition falls under the keyword being responsible for your own actions. Children can only realize their mistakes. This way, children can realize their mistakes and not repeat them. Our second point falls under the keyword subjectivity of parenting, and our third point falls under the keyword parents are still human. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I end my case.
Did you record the video yet? Yeah, he want to record after go. I'm little. Is it by speech? Oh wait, no.
The results will get announced right after the.
Yeah, just wait.
Okay, we've heard the points delivered by the third speaker of the opposition team, and now the House will allow each team 3 minutes to prepare their reply speech. The clock starts now.
Ada sah.
No, I don't want to record one. Fine, I'll record one. Okay, yes. We don't need that much camera time.
They need a lot. I can't say. Satu adjudicators, they understand the first one, then that is solid. They don't understand the first one, then I think they get rough.
They give rebuttals on the opposition point, but when they are the ones who don't understand the point given, we're talking right now, the camera is right here.
I don't care.
Okay, fine.
He hit that up.
Let's look at ourselves. They finish. Okay. This is the result for now, and they are soon to be debated and shared. Let's fight them. Fine, I'll record them now. It looks nice.
I know, it's so
Let's
HD.
see a picture of it. It's so nice. It's so nice.
See the lines.
Can you take a picture of
I
it?
think so. Thanks, then.
Wait, it's on it. What about this one? I forgot. I love debates. My goodness. First time seeing a live debate.
First. Yeah,
It's so awesome.
it's awesome. I saw Asian
It's
one.
nice.
I forgot the Asian one. I'll throw a pen and fall down. Stop. No, it's the house.
I can't play. The principal would be watching the video and we're playing. But they finished their reply speech.
I think that they will be something.
What is this writing?
Want to make it solid. Solid. Solid.
Don't shake it.
You get nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of this House, the reply speech session will now begin. The second speaker from the opposition team will deliver his speech first. Please welcome Mr. Muhammad Faiz Muhammad Lukman.
As a group.
Very good morning once again. I would like to greet the members of the House, honorable adjudicators, and members of the floor. Today's debate can be summed up with a one-word version: ignorance. Throughout the course of this whole debate, we, the opposition, has shown the government the undeniable truth, but the government still chooses to close a blind eye. Wait, no, two blind eyes towards the undeniable truth.
Wow. Is that?
They have only rebutted on examples that we have given, not the points. They have only shown us other, less effective ways to educate a child without ever
that's
showing us
even-
how punishing a child is neither a viable method nor an effective one. Simply put, they have not upheld their burden of proof, which is to show us how parents are the only ones who should be punished, and it is fair and never the children who should be punished. Second, they seem really unprepared, even from the ways they spoke, and from the ways they answered our POIs, if they did. Now, throughout the course of the whole debate, they have given 3 points, which were first, to educate, and the 2 last points, which are more or less the same, which is to monitor and to protect. Now, we as opposition have successfully shattered their case. Once again, these questions remain unanswered throughout the whole course of this whole debate. First question is, how do we educate a child if we don't reward it for the good things it does and punish it for the bad things it does? Second, even if, how is it fair, even if the parents do monitor and protect their children, but the children still do something wrong and they still get punished for it? As we have said throughout the course of this whole debate, our points were first, children should learn how to be responsible for their own actions. So when they grow up, they know the consequences of their actions and would not repeat the wrongdoings that they have done when they were younger. Our second point, subjectivity in parenting. A parent might think that they're raising their child the correct way, but as society has it, it is just simply unfair for the parent to be charged, for the parent to have charges pressed against him or her, simply based off of assumptions and subjectivity. Our third point was, parents are still humans, which deals with the fact that a parent can try their absolute best to monitor and protect their child, but still fail, because they're just human. Therefore, we can clearly see that throughout the course of this whole debate, that we are simply right. It is not fair for the parents, the ones who are not doing the ones who are not committing the wrongdoings, to be punished. Well, and it is simply not fair for the parents who have tried their absolute best to prevent these wrongdoings from happening to still be punished. Now, I would like you to think about the effects of passing this motion. If we were to pass this motion, what would happen to the future? A 5-year-old now might be the Prime Minister of a country when he's 50. If we don't educate this child to at least be able to handle the full force of his consequences of his actions right now, when else will he learn? Do you expect him to learn when the time is critical, when he is raising a country? Or do you want him to learn from his mistakes now, so as to make a better future for humanity? So as to make the next generation a lot better than the one we currently have? As stated by my first speaker, and as stated by all of us throughout the course of this whole debate, we should punish the children. We should have them know the effects and consequences of their own actions. We should educate them the correct way. We should educate them by punishment. As brutal and cruel as it may sound, it's the only way for these children to learn what to do and what not to do. And it's the only way for these children to know how to function in society when they are society in the future. So, if you'd like to see humanity prosper, then I urge you, go against this motion. But if you simply do not care and want to go with their overly optimistic and far-fetched promises, then I urge you, agree to this motion and agree to the government. With that, we the opposition would like to reaffirm our stand, which is we simply disagree with today's motion. Parents should be held responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media because it is just unfair. Thank you.
Come on, finish your speech.
Yeah.
Just wait, you have your turn. Chill.
Let me do it. Sorry.
And now, to end the session, I would like to call upon Ms. Nurhafiki Azman from the government team to present her reply speech.
But people who wear like these large students always fat. But some aren't actually. Some aren't.
Camera.
It's always so awesome.
The motion to this date, this House believes that parents should be held responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media. We from the government team strongly agree with this motion. We believe that parents should be responsible for their school-going children's behavior in social media because it is parental obligation to educate, monitor, and protect them. First of all, I will summarize the point from the government. Our first point is educate. Educate is to create awareness. Second,
second point lies under the key phrase of monitor, supervising what they are doing in the social side. Our third point lies under the keyword of protection. The parents can protect them by filtering their sites, what the children can access. Moving on, I will reveal the flaws of the opposition team. The biggest flaw of the opposition is they doesn't relate to the motion. The motion states that it is in the children's behavior in social media. They didn't stick to the motion. And when they say that secondary children have to face the consequences, when you say children, we are stressing out that the school-going children are in the age 7 until 17 years old. They are in the process of growing and they need guidance from the parents. Yes, parents are still human, but if you are a parent, you should try your best to have more time and spend more time with your children. How busy can a parent be until they can neglect their own children? So we just stress that we agree with this motion fully. That parents should be held responsible for their school-going children's behavior. For their school-going children's behavior in social media because it is parental obligation to educate, monitor, and protect them.
That's too short.
3 minutes.
It was only 2 minutes. 2 minutes and a half. Wow.
That was the reply speech from the government team. We have heard the arguments and points raised by both teams. So now we shall wait for the adjudicators to cast a vote to affirm the winner of today's parliamentary style debate.
Just wait. Stop recording.